always said that, like, when you open the window of knowledge for somebody, when you tell them something and they know it, you can't shut that window, no matter how hard you try. And that's
Hi, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy.
And together we're the Rainbow Grannies. Yay!
Woo!
And today we have a guest.
Yes.
And our guest is Garrison Green.
hello.
So, Garrison, we're so glad to have you join me and Judy. Garrison is part of the community, and he's willing to come and share with us his experiences.
Oh yeah, well, well, the only one that's kind of weighing heavy on me right now is the death of my partner, which actually leans into a much bigger problem in our community, which I feel is like the stigma that still exists in certain communities around homosexuality and HIV. And
What I have to tell you, Garrison, is though that with being, an older person or whatever, I wasn't that aware, and I'm sure me even being in the community wasn't aware that there was that many people out there that were still being exposed. We kind of we're in the world of thinking that it's all pretty much all taken care of. Everything's okay. Everybody's fine now. So with learning that, you are exposed and know people that have it and everything, it helps make us all more aware that hello, it's still
I
there.
mean, and it's still a thing. It's still a thing. I know it seems like it shouldn't be, and I thought, yeah, even I thought it wasn't that big a deal until I'm in the midst of it, and then I'm seeing that, oh my gosh, it is way easier to get drunk, drugged up, and go have unprotected sex with X amount of people. We have bathhouses. We have so many avenues of doing that, to where it can be contracted so fast, so easily, and between so many people. And then when you're just so drugged up and stuff, you don't even think about going and get tested and taking care of yourself. And
Right.
that's what a lot of us in our early 20s do, in our teens and stuff. And I've just known several that have just gone down these horrible roads. We were all being promiscuous at the time. We were this young, dumb boys, you know what I mean? I mean, that mentality. We think we're invincible.
It's here. The same young
Yeah.
dumb boys you were are still out there right now doing the same young dumb stuff.
Dude, I mean, for real. And then with the advent of these smartphones and the technology to just make it so much easier for us to hook up, and I mean, that's how each one of my boyfriends and I started, on Grindr or on some sort of hookup site. And
Honestly, I actually heard. I don't know much about it because I've been out of the.
uh,
I heard about this grinder here, and I
yes, and Scruff and Adam for Adam, and yeah.
let like somebody within like driving distance or walking distance that wants to
I
hook
can
up.
hop on Grindr and there's somebody like 150 feet away, like and like a neighbor, yeah.
Have that when I was.
I mean, and this is like, and I'm in that generation where it's like, I remember as like my early teen years, like we didn't have that. So it was like you had to kind of hunt for the other gays, like, but like, I mean, I remember I grew up with, like that, but then with the coming of the internet, I was in those unregulated MSN chat rooms, 14 years old, sneaking out with these older men. Like I was exposed very young to like that world, and so like, but that's the thing with these other men that are from like Mateus or Angel and Temoc, is like they come from such repressed families that when they come out into this world, it's like kid in a candy shop.
Oh yeah.
And that was what in like the 4 years I was with Mateus, I took him 2 times to get tested. In 2017, he tested negative. And then in 2019, he had given me an STD because he had stepped out of the relationship. But I told him this was going to happen, but he wouldn't go back and get his results after that. And that time, and I'm pretty sure he must have had it then. But I'm kind of like a forward thinker. I told him, I was like, you're still new to this, and this is where I want to like my career to go, back in school and for counseling and stuff, is because I want to get back on the streets and tell people like, it's you're new to the scene. There's a lot out there. You really need to take it easy and take it safe, and you can tell people to use condoms, you can do a lot, but like they're not going to listen. But at least go and get tested so you can know what you're dealing with, at least have that courage. Because I mean, we again with the shoulda woulda couldas, but I mean my baby would still be with me had he just went and had the want to go and deal with it.
Go ahead, dog.
But it was just one of those things where it's like it's preventable. It's all preventable, or it's all stuff that you can take care of. But if you don't even have the knowledge or the courage or even the support system to want to take care of yourself in that way, and it's just much easier to go use drugs and go like have sex with a bunch of people and kind of do the self-esteem, self-destruction type way, you're gonna end up on those beds and you're gonna end up sick. And honestly, like that's where I want to advocate for families too. Like you've got to support your own because
Now, say there's
yes.
somebody watching this and they're already, and they're already using that app, they're already meeting folks, and they're young and they just want to play, but say now it's like where they want to play safe. How do they talk about it? What recommendation do you have? Like, how do they
Well,
bring it
that's
up?
the thing, talking to these teenagers, now like these 18, 19, in early 20s, because I'm 33 now. And so it's like to talk to them, and they have such information at their fingertips. And there's like PrEP, there's and I don't know if you know what PrEP is, but it's the medication you take, and it's like a preventative. It prevents you from contracting HIV. A lot of
Because no, we're not aware of
You
that.
don't.
So,
oh, okay.
so also when I tell you that these kids are contacting us, we're talking 14-year-old kids that are contacting us.
Oh,
We're talking
okay.
young kids that are just deciding that they decided that, wow, I think I'm gay. And a lot of them come out with that, I think I'm bisexual. And of course,
Yes,
it's so
that's
much easier to say I'm bisexual because in that
I
way,
did that.
right,
Yeah.
that way mom doesn't hate you because, she thinks you're gay. She believes that there's a chance that maybe you won't be gay, that maybe, once you meet the right girl, it'll all be okay.
Right, right. Or like in some cases, it's just like with Mateus, like it's just man, there was no way he was going to be able to come out and like be accepted,
So a
and
lot of
that's hard.
people that they hear that it's a phase, they're going through a phase. That's
Oh
the
gosh,
common
yeah.
thing that
It's
they
a switch you can flip off.
so with you telling us about different drugs, like what did you just call that one?
Oh, so it's called PrEP. Truvada. I think that's the official name of it. But there's other medications that are now hitting the market too that are HIV preventatives that you can take. Now, being that the kids are like 14, 15, if their parents would accept them and everything, it's just like taking your girl to go get like a hepatitis shot or preventative birth control pills or something like that. It is the exact same thing. You get your gay son through your insurance, they're covered until they're 20 something. You get them on PrEP, you get them on that. And I mean, it's there. It's
So
there. That way you have the peace of mind.
the suggestion would be to use that, but to also use condoms.
Oh, of course, yes. And that's the other part too, is like there's such a culture of and that's the other part that goes with the drugs and the sex too, is like when you are intoxicated, you don't think safety, you don't think for your health, and especially if you catch an ongoing addiction to where you're just constantly. That's why I refuse to live down in the neighborhood, because I mean, I love going down there. I've been going down there since I was a teenager and everything, but I knew if I would live down there, if I ever got an apartment down there, I would be in trouble because I have an addictive nature. Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, I know a bunch of dudes down there that have gone down such dark roads, and that's the other part too, because they don't have the family network around them to steer them. Because that's the only reason I was not a houseboy in my teens and 20s, and that's the only reason I wasn't on the streets, because I had a family, my sisters and mom, that just were there and told me that no, you will not be dancing up on a stage just because you know blah blah blah. I mean, you won't have to live. And I'm blessed for that health insurance. So the Ryan White program is what the state of Texas and it's federal coverage for that HIV medication. And so through AIDS Arm, if you are below a certain income level, they will put you on the Ryan White program and then cover you through this clinic through for like doctor visits and stuff like that.
And that's something that I'm sure a lot of people will be informed, be glad to learn
know about.
about. Right.
Oh, definitely.
Cost of those medications must be. I've heard that that's why a lot of people die. They can't
Well,
afford the medications they need.
well, that was what like was so tragic about Angel. Like he was a manager at Sam's and he had HIV for a couple years and he was on his medications through his insurance, but I'm not sure the exact details, but his insurance dropped him. And you can always go the public route, like the government route, because it's federally, it's guaranteed that you will get your AIDS medication or HIV medication through the Ryan White program. And sorry, I'm not sorry. Um,
You
and
know,
and so, but you just have to like I mean, a lot of times when you go the public route, it's long lines, it's a lot of work, paper, stuff like that. But still, it is your life.
Right.
And I remember in the summer of 2014, being the, in this argument with him, because he decided that summer, whenever they dropped him, that he was not going to like go and take and try and get like public help for his HIV medication. I said, you're not going to take your HIV meds, you're going to get sick and die. And 2 years later, he's in the hospital dying. And it was just one of those things where like I'm so glad I got to see him in the hospital and make our peace and everything, but it was like I did have to tell him, like, I'm so angry, like I'm like we had this conversation and you could have just gone to Parkland. I mean, like, but shoulda, woulda, coulda's never helped. Elder years, but I do want to like help these kids avoid those darker avenues and know that, you can have fun, but you can be safe about it. You don't have to go down into the drug world and have these older men just use you. And then by the time you're in your late 20s, you're just thrown back on the street because they found the next one,
Well, you're helping
And then,
right now. You're helping right
Yeah.
now because you're going to be able to share this with so many people. So you're helping right now. Talking to you and being able to share the fact of what kind of medications you get, where you can go get help to take that medication, where you need your help, or even with your drug problem, your former drug problem, so that maybe these young people that are exposed to that will know how to get help, and that you
Right.
don't
And
you
even
don't
if,
have to fall into the pits of
right.
hell instead. That there's a way to
Yeah.
come up out of that, and that you will be
For real.
okay.
That's the other part too that I miss is like, with Mateus, I didn't feel the need to go out to the clubs either, every once in a while. Yeah. But I mean, I actually started to enjoy the domestic life, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's such a blessing to find that companionship. And I think that if we could just promote more of better self-esteem in our community, and really try to rein in on some of these darker areas of our community, the LGBTQ community. And so, but I have a clearer direction, and that's for the first time in my life. And that's another thing to thank Mateus with. It's like, like, he just through and through made everything in my life, everything he touched just turned to gold, and it's still gold. Even though he's gone, I'm still gold. I've been loved in a way that like was just so true and unconditional, and to be able to do that back in return for him, even in his last moments, it was just, it's a really powerful thing. But again, it could have been prevented, and he probably would have gotten sick even without meeting me, because he was a kid in a candy shop, like I said, and playing with fire, and didn't have the backup medically, or everything to take care of himself, or the courage to either. And so that's where I can make a difference. You can prevent this.
We're gonna have to go now and wind our
Right.
evening up. It has really been nice, and thank you so much.
Okay. Well, yes, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And
Hey, I want to thank you all for watching us one more time. We really enjoyed it. So while you're still here, do us a favor. Press the subscribe button. What color is that button?
That's the red button.
The
subscribe
red button.
And hit the bell so you get notification whenever we put a new video up.
That's right. And we want to thank Garrison for sharing this afternoon with us, and all the nice topics that we covered. So
thank you. Thank you so much as well. And I hope we can reach people with this.
We will. We will. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.